Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good
It's Talk Therapy
morning.
Live. We are right here at the studio.
Yeah, we're back.
We are back. We are back and happy to be here
Yes.
on a Good Friday.
On a Good Friday.
It is a Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
What's good about your Friday so far?
What's good about my Friday is being here with you. I
Well,
don't care what it looks like outside.
We could have been at home.
If we're together, it's a Good Friday.
Okay.
You understand?
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
You better speak to those ear gates.
I'm telling you, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Yeah, look at you. Can't stop smiling.
I cannot. You old brown.
Now you're starting to sweat a little
drop.
bit. You're starting to sweat now.
Bishop
You
Marvin.
see me move from these, don't do that.
I know why you move
Mess
away.
my makeup up. Mess my makeup. Just mess it up.
Something wrong. See, you're going left now.
Hey, I'm just practicing.
You're going left.
I'm practicing.
But it is a good Friday.
It's a wonderful Friday.
Yes, I'm happy to be here also.
Yeah.
Good that God woke us up this morning.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that.
But he did.
Yes, so we're here. Listen, y'all, this is TTL Talk Therapy Live, where it's all the way live. And we want you to know that you're listening to a Gold Chip Communication Foundation station. All right. We are TTL. We can be found on Facebook and also YouTube. If you go to YouTube, it's TTL-KB. Y'all come on in and tell a friend.
Tell a friend on this wonderful Friday.
I want to give a shout out.
Give it.
To the June birthdays.
The June.
There are so many, but primarily our baby boy.
Our
baby boy.
Yeah.
31 years old.
31.
Y'all. Yes. You're getting old.
Look at all this gray and
That's wisdom.
It is.
That's wisdom. That's not aging.
It's not aging. It's wisdom.
It's wisdom.
Thank you for that.
Because you still got a baby face.
Thank you.
Okay, I got sidetracked, y'all.
Yeah.
The birthday shout outs.
Yeah.
Our baby boy, William. Big Daddy Bozeman. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, y'all, my eldest sister's birthday is today.
Oh, wow.
Angela Robinson. Happy birthday. Brittany Bozeman.
Happy birthday.
What, the 8th?
I don't know, but happy birthday.
Your brother.
Happy birthday.
Robert.
19.
June 19th.
How about that?
Happy birthday. You want to sing or you want me to sing?
You can sing. And Michelle Foreman. She is not here in the city, but it's her birthday on the 19th.
All right. Annie Manuel. His birthday is so many June birthdays.
Yeah.
We want you all to know that you all are very, very special.
Yes.
And you're special to us. We want you all to celebrate life like you never have before. Y'all know one of my mantras is to live while you are living.
I plan on it.
That's right.
I plan on it. I told you I'm about to get me a motorcycle. These are things that I want to do.
Why does he have to keep going left?
I'm going to do that.
Why is he going left? I don't understand.
You said live while living.
We're doing good.
You said live while living.
Okay, now you're talking about a tri.
No. A
motorcycle with 3 wheels.
No.
What y'all think?
No. Not
do y'all think that the older that you get, you should be more stable or
be on the tricycle?
It's safe. I'll get on there with you.
You gonna get on a motorcycle with me, so it's okay.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah.
Help tricycle.
Us. But I'm excited, and you know what today is just a beautiful Friday, and we are with the people. So we want to first start just by saying thank you to the Columbus listeners.
That's right.
You know, those are so supportive to us on this foundation station, the foundation of the people.
That's right.
Come on.
And this is your community station.
Yes.
This platform, if it wasn't for you all, we would not be here at all. This is a community platform where we want you all to fully engage with the platform, right?
Yes,
you know, we need your feedback. We want your conversation.
And you have the professional here of Healthy Emotes. And listen, if you ever have questions, comments, or things that you just need to know and you don't know, reach out to her. You can do that. I'll guarantee you she'll come back with a good answer for you.
And I don't claim to know everything. Some things I don't know.
But you know some stuff because you done went there and got that thing.
Yeah, I got that thing. And then I have about 24 years experience.
For sure, yeah.
You know, so, you know, I learned a lot from the clients also.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? So I don't claim to be necessarily the professional in the session because we're
Yeah.
learning from each
Yeah.
other.
But you are the professional.
Right.
Don't get that mixed up now.
I do have
You
the
want them to call you or
degrees.
not call you?
I do want them to call
She is a
me.
professional. Let's get that out there. So I know you're humble, but you are a humble professional.
And you all can reach me
Yeah.
at 614-669-5115. And as far as another announcement, what we have coming up next week is a wellness event, all right, at Assembly of Faith Church that you do not want to miss, all right. We have with us, it's going to be Linda Masere. She is an RN, and I'm telling you guys, you need to come because what she does is she does a bioscan. The only thing you have to do is stick your finger in the bioscan. It will read you all of your.
Tell you about your mama, your daddy.
No, all of your systems.
History. Come on here.
Respiratory,
cardiovascular,
everything in a split second. It's like what? It takes about a minute or two for it to read you. So you need to be there.
Registered nurse.
She is a registered nurse. So you need to come and take care of your health. And we're also going to have Vicki Trout, and she is the CEO of Be in Health, and she will give you herbal remedies. One of her things that she really, really likes that she does very well in is the
essential oil.
Essential oils.
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning. Camille is here. Good morning. So again, next Saturday, it starts at 11 o'clock at the Great Assembly of Faith Church. We are located at 1571 South Parsons Avenue. And this is a free event, but we want you all to be well. Your wealth, I'm sorry, your health is your wealth.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a community event. So come on out, 1571 South Parsons Avenue, of course, and you'll be treated very nice. Very nice.
Absolutely. Yes. So we're talking today about PTSD.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you, Bishop, when you think about PTSD, what comes to your mind? What would you say PTSD is?
I would say that it would be exposure to trauma. You know, physical trauma, those that have been in the military that know what it's like to go through and have that type of experience where, man, you are witnessing others losing their lives and you're fighting for your life. Then those that, you know, just typical everyday life that have been caught up in abusive relationships. You know, you have your adults, but then also you have your children.
Yes.
You know, so that's probably the first few things that come to mind when I think about PTSD.
And you're right on point. It is an experience to trauma, you know, having that exposure to it. But the thing about it is your mind and your body, it's its way of dealing with that because it's overwhelming, overwhelming circumstances. But here's the key. Your mind and body is not aware that the trauma is over.
Wow.
And it can be years and years later. So people who have PTSD are often on high alert.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have a smoke detector in your house.
And a sensitive one.
Yeah. And it's there to protect you, right?
Right, for sure.
Right. So that when there's smoke in the house, it will go off.
Yeah.
Okay, so with PTSD, we have those alarms, those signals that's going on because our stress is elevated.
Right.
But what happens is it doesn't turn off. It can be years later, the threat is gone, but the smoke detector is still going off as if there's an alarm.
Gotcha.
And that's what happens with PTSD. Yeah.
And a lot of people experience that think about the world that we live in today. There's so many things that go on around the world within different communities that you can go to a basketball game, a football game, to a graduation. Anything can break out, you know, gunfire, people just fighting, anything can happen. And it probably can start from there.
That's right. Yeah. It's any type of trauma at any age.
Yeah.
Because as you said, things can always happen anywhere at any time.
Yeah. Anytime.
Exactly. So we know that we need help with PTSD. So, my heart goes out, especially to veterans this time of year, because we got July 4th coming.
For sure.
And the fireworks. My heart goes out to them because I just cannot imagine, but again, we all have some type of trauma. So we want to just talk a little bit today about what that actually looks like. Good morning, Alice Briggs is here today. Good morning to you. Y'all feel free to chime in too. And you all can put in the chat if you have experienced any type of trauma and what you did, what you have done, what you are currently doing to overcome that. So a lot of times with PTSD, they can relive the moment, right? I say it can be 10 years ago. I know someone, they were married to a veteran, and I'm telling you, the spouse would wake up in the middle of the night, and the one that was in the military would be crawling on the floor. Crawling on the floor. You relive that moment,
for sure.
And oftentimes.
And anything to trigger.
Yeah.
There are a lot of movies out there that are war movies.
Yes.
Commemorating whatever day, historical day of this country, and you know what I mean. And you can probably sit there and watch that and get triggered all over again.
Absolutely.
So I believe they probably have to be careful over what it is that they expose themselves to.
And this is why it's so important not to self-medicate or to you can self-soothe.
Which seems to be the easiest thing for that type of trauma, for people to indulge in, is to self-medicate.
It's easier and it's faster. Because I would highly recommend that you see a professional.
For sure.
You see a professional. Even you can talk to your friends about it and all that, but you're dealing with the part of your mind that you're talking about ruminating thoughts, intrusive thoughts, so you need professional help.
Especially if you are, you've experienced it like your life is about to be taken, like you're in inches of your life being gone, and you live and survive. But at that high alert, like you said, the smoke detector is always, detecting. You know what I mean?
So, your adrenals are always fired up.
You're
talking about high alert, being startled easily.
For sure.
I know you usually laugh, you be making fun of people like, you better live right. As people are startled very easily. Like if you walk up on them and they're like jumpy or whatever, you better be living right.
For sure.
But you say that too. That helps.
That too. But people have these experiences in life that often go probably unnoticed. I don't believe it's something that you just go around telling people this is why you are, and the way that you are, they become suicidal, and they choose to go out at a violent death. Most cases, death by suicide or death by an officer, you know what I mean? Something like that, because of what's going on in their head.
It's a lot.
What's going on in their head. Yes. Because people just don't, it's so terrifying. You don't really care what's going on. You know what I mean? You don't care how things are handled. You do anything, to anyone. So,
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I was speaking to someone before in one of my sessions, and because they're not a cutter anymore, but people cut for different reasons, and that was soothing to them. It was calming to them.
Wow.
To actually cut. So people have different ways of dealing with these circumstances. That is why I'm saying to seek counseling.
You must.
To seek counseling.
You must.
Seriously, So number one, they will relive that moment. And like you said, they can be triggered. It can be a smell.
Yeah.
It can be the way someone laughs.
Mhm.
It can just be a certain color. Like
Yeah.
I know behind us we have red,
Yeah.
but like if you're in the military
Yeah.
or something, that could be triggering.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it can
Yeah.
represent blood or whatever.
Yeah.
Just anything can
Yeah.
be triggering.
Right.
But again, those in people, young girls or boys who were molested,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a
Wow.
that is
Mhm.
trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
For
trauma.
sure. Mhm.
As I always say, whatever you don't address, you give permission to exist.
Yeah.
So we don't want that to rest. It won't rest in us.
Mhm.
We don't want that to be connected to us
Yeah.
if it does not need to be. Why
Exactly.
am I carrying around all of that trauma
Mhm.
with me
Yeah.
if I don't have to? Because it's not going to be conducive.
Right. At all.
You can't sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But thank God for, different type of avenues to where you can receive the help that you need, knowing that it's not going to be a quick fix, that it's going to take you time, work, and effort, to learn how to deal with those reoccurring thoughts, feelings, and emotions, because they'll probably be there, but you have to learn how to manage those things, maybe.
Yeah, but which brings us to our second point, because if you don't learn how to manage those things, you will avoid those things.
Yeah.
It's like when I got to the accident on 256, for a while, I would not drive down 256, definitely not that part of 256. I avoided that. Why?
Yeah.
Because I had flashbacks.
Yeah.
It triggered me every time I see that the Moo gas station car wash over there. I was triggered. But then because I am a therapist and because I have to be able to tell clients what I have actually experienced, I had to challenge myself. I'm like, no, Kim, you're not going to keep avoiding that area. You must go down. So I went down that area, but I took God with me.
Yeah, for sure.
I took God with me, and I did my deep breathing techniques. And I would challenge myself, even if I had to go out the way to go down 256, is what I did to be able to overcome that.
Right. Yeah. So you have to challenge yourself, do what you have to do to overcome. All of our lives, especially if you're a believer, is about overcoming. We just don't know what it is we may have to, we are challenged to overcome. But Jesus is our first example of what it means to overcome. He's an overcomer. Then he says the same about us. We're overcomers. We're more than conquerors. So we have to use him as our first and primary example on what it means to overcome certain situations.
It would be wonderful if the Holy Spirit would just heal us without challenging us.
But there's always some work for us to do. That's crazy. There's always some work for us to do.
It is. It is. But I think that's how a lot of people think, is that if I give it to God, then he will deliver me of it. He will heal me of it. And I don't really have to participate. My participation part was giving it over to God.
I think deliverance is basically on the person. I think it's about how it is that they continue in their deliverance. You can be delivered, but are you going to stay that way? You know what I mean? So there are steps that you have to take in order to maintain and to keep and overcome, so you can stay that way. So it's definitely on the person. God is a deliverer, but there are things that you have to do to make sure that you stay that way.
Right. So it's teamwork is what it sounds like.
It's always teamwork. It's always teamwork. What does giving it to God actually look like? Here you go.
That's a good question.
Just throwing it over to him and you out. I mean, no, there's always an assignment for you to fulfill. There's always a measure for you to take, but so you can stay in that place that he actually puts you in.
But avoiding sounds so beneficial to the person who has been traumatized.
Yeah. But avoiding, I mean, what are you really avoiding though?
everything.
Because you're going to run, it's going to be with you all the time. There's no, you're not really avoiding anything. You know, you're trying to.
You feel like you are.
It's not working.
Yes, it's really not working.
That's why you keep doing this.
Yes.
So,
you're not really avoiding it because you still have your memories.
Yeah.
You know, avoidance is one part of PTSD, but then again, you relive it. You have the flashbacks. You have your triggers.
And you know what? That's why it comes back to overcoming. You have to overcome it. You know what I mean? You have to rise above it. You have to get on top of it so that it's not on top of you. You know, we're overcomers, you know.
But we're so used to internalizing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're good for taking something and stuffing it inside of us so that we feel like we don't have to deal with it. But this is where self-medicating comes from.
For sure.
Because we internalize all of this stuff and then we end up drinking. We end up, you know,
everything under the sun.
Yes.
But the right thing that's going to help.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So we become worse than we were before because now you don't have any peace.
Right.
And now you're causing dis-ease within, which leads to disease.
And you know what? I think that when you talk about picking up those types of habits, I believe those types of habits are introduced to us by others who have unmanaged trauma. How else will we know to go and to pick up a drink? Or to smoke
learn
something?
behavior.
You understand?
Learn
I believe
behavior.
it's just taught. Here, try this.
Well, what do you think?
This is what I do.
Okay, so let me ask you this since you said that. What do you think about people who were raised in like Christian homes, you know what I mean? And all they know is church. So do you feel like that person, when they are traumatized, or they lean more towards the word, or will they still be tempted to go out and do something else?
It's probably going to be both, because we're all human. You know what I mean? So you probably have if you have no experience, or if you have no knowledge of something else, then preferably you're going to lean towards.
They got all these commercials, and it's
so
one of the first things you see at the grocery store is the state store within the grocery store.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
It'll alter your state of mind,
right?
Your state of being.
And doing those things is so easy to do. And a lot of times when we say we want to give things over to God, it just seems like, Bishop, it takes God a long time.
Sometimes church people are one of the most hurting individuals, because sometimes I imagine you can be a little too churchy and don't understand that there's another makeup to who you are that needs special attention. You know what I mean? Everything is not fixed by a shout, a holler, but there's something that you have to work out.
It sure feel good when you're shouting and hollering, though.
Salvation, you know what I mean?
No,
you got to work those things out.
You have to. You have to
and
be
most
able
of
to
the hollering and
acknowledge.
screaming is not because it feels good; it's because I'm in pain.
Well, I said it feels good just because it is a form of release.
For sure.
You know, and that's what I tell clients. Sometimes just get in your car. Get on 270. Let your window down and yell and scream.
We have to know the sound of hurt and pain and hallelujah. You know, because some of the screams and yells we hear at churches cause pain. I'm hurting. I see me. Somebody help me. You know, because you in the spirit.
Right.
I mean, you're a wounded spirit.
And the thing is, God knows every groan.
He does.
He knows every moan.
Yeah.
But we have to acknowledge our hurt.
Yeah.
We have to own it.
Help looks like the professional that you are. Right? Because we always say, you know, have you prayed? Yes, I've prayed. I've been praying. Have you been to church? I go to church every Sunday. You know, but help is always in the form of somebody.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why it's okay to go see a professional.
Yeah,
to help you in
exactly.
this situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
No,
good
seriously.
to do that. Help is always going to come
But
in
I
the
think
form of
that
somebody.
there's so much pride though,
Yeah.
because who wants to go and talk to someone, hey, I'm that one that was molested,
Yeah.
or I was
Yeah.
raped, or
Mhm.
we just don't want to own up to that. I was the one that was traumatized. I was in the room and I saw someone got. Now I have to actually relive it. But what you're doing is reliving it in a safe space, right?
For sure.
You're not at home reliving this by yourself, where you're freaking out and you're, getting pills and alcohol. You're in a safe place where you can get healed. Yes, your therapy session is going to be very, very difficult, but you will get through it.
Right.
So the main point is so that you can become whole, and so that you can become healed. But you have to own it. If you don't, it'll own you.
Yeah. Quick question though. Being the professional that you are, keep throwing it out there. Being a professional counselor, how is it that you start off time with an individual who comes to you with this type of situation? Um, do you go in like, hey, I have all the answers, so sit down and just listen? I mean, how do you start off a session to try and get them to kind of divulge information so that you can see where things have, begun?
Well, first of all, before I lay my eyes on them, there's a whole intake form.
Okay.
All right. So they put all their information on the intake form.
Got you.
So if they're coming to me for PTSD, I already know the type of individual that I'm going to sit with.
Okay.
Now, one of the key components of PTSD is that this individual feels very unsafe.
Okay.
Right? I mean, they already have the fear, they have anxiety, and I know this about them.
Right.
So no, this is going to be a very, very slow. We probably won't start the work part of it for until much later, because I have to build security.
Right.
I have to build safety.
Gotcha.
I have to build the rapport with the client for them to even open up and to trust me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because I am a professional don't mean that they can really trust me yet.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
So you start off with that intake.
Yes.
Have you ever, second question, have you ever had a client put down false information on their intake? And the more you talk to them, you be like, you lied to me because this is the situation right here. And then the truth comes out. Have you ever had?
That does happen.
Yeah, because they're somewhat still ashamed, even though they come to see you.
They are, yes. And a lot of times they won't even fill out the intake packet completely.
Got you.
Because they can get triggered.
It makes sense.
Filling it out also.
Right.
You know what I mean? But during our initial assessment, I will say something like, hey, I noticed that you left this part blank. Is there a reason for that?
Gotcha.
And I will tell them, we'll get to it later. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand where they are. But PTSD is very, very hard and very difficult. There's so many components to that. We talked about them avoiding and reliving, the event, because part of avoidance is refusal to talk about it. Now, you may appear in therapy because you want help, and you're praying that the therapist will do all the talking and they'll pull out of me what you know what I mean? That's not what we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Well,
you come on now. We got 10 more minutes.
Right.
Tell me something.
We're supposed to listen more than we do talk, but sometimes it does get difficult, you know. So if you're in the chat room, definitely put down, if you don't have to put down what your trauma was if you don't want to, but you can, if you have been traumatized and what you have done to overcome that. Because Bishop just talked about how it's all about us overcoming. Right? We don't want to internalize. And then some people will withdraw from activities that they once enjoyed, and all that is part
of. Or
of.
Pick up certain habits, as you said before, from eating to alcohol to drugs to unsafe relationships. You know what I mean? You'll pick up those things just to try to mask, to hide, and I guess to be numb through life
Yes.
until you have to deal with it.
And this happens in relationships because you've been traumatized by someone, you've been, experienced domestic violence or something in a relationship. And now you're out of that relationship, but now you have fear. You got PTSD.
Sure.
I want to be in a relationship because everybody wants to feel that connectivity.
But it's like, it messes with the psyche of an individual because you've been hurt by a person. You know what I mean? To whereas you'll say, hey, I'll never trust anyone else again.
Right.
Period.
Yes.
Okay, who it is, I don't trust nobody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Until you have to trust somebody.
Yeah.
You're going to have to trust somebody. Yeah.
But I think the capacities are different.
Yeah.
So I can trust somebody, if they're helping me take care of finances or daycare, you know what I mean? But when it comes to an intimate partner relationship, I'm not trusting anybody until you find yourself in love.
Yeah, until you find you're going to. People hurt you, but it's going to take another person to help you.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
Life.
Yeah.
It's life, that's how it goes.
But we end up sabotaging so many potentially good relationships because you're walking around in fear. You're the one withdrawn and isolated. And the whole time you're looking and you're admiring other couples. You know what I mean? You want to be in a relationship, but you're the one who can't trust. Right. Or I won't say that you can't, because you can trust. But again, you have to put the work in.
Most definitely.
So instead of isolating, and that's one of the key components of PTSD, you will want to isolate. Right. Because you just want to be for yourself, because you feel like you can just trust yourself.
I can't stand the word isolate. When it comes to, people actually going through certain things and they need help and they just clam up in there by themselves. I don't get it. You know what I mean? So if you need help, ask for it.
It's most comfortable there.
It is, yeah. It is. We had a call. All right, call back, caller.
I think they're calling back now.
All right.
So what is your go-to? Is it withdrawal? Is it isolating? What is it? And I would have to say.
Go ahead, caller. You're on.
Good morning and happy Friday.
Hey,
happy Friday.
Thank you. We have a question for y'all on PTSD. My question would be, how can friends and family members best support someone with PTSD?
So the caller is asking, how can friends and families best support someone with PTSD? First of all, I would say to educate yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the first things they do, when you're in a hospital and someone gets like a diagnosis, they bring the family in because they want the family to understand what your loved one is dealing with. Okay. Because we have to understand that our loved one is not just isolating because they want to, or withdrawn because they want to. They're not overacting. They're really suffering through some things. We have to be able to see it and to understand what is going on with them, and then to be empathetic.
For sure.
Definitely be empathetic with them.
That's the word that came to mind, being empathetic. And I say that because you'll get a turn too. And you want that same type of attention that's needed in this situation to be given to your situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Support. Definitely be supporting. And I would definitely encourage your loved one, if you feel like they have PTSD, to get the professional help that they need. Yeah, for sure. And never make fun of how it is and what it is that they feel. What they're going through. You're always crying, or don't make fun of the individual. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're talking about, if they're always crying, now we're talking about mental illness.
Okay.
not just mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? There's something going on. So, caller, I would definitely, say understanding them, to do your own research, to support them, and then encourage them to see a professional.
And thanks for calling. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions from our chat group at all? But that was a good question.
It was,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes families don't understand.
And
And we've known you forever, so we kind of take you for granted.
mhm.
You're feeling, oh, that's just, how they are. No, there's some things that haven't been looked at.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
this is how they are, but why? How? When did it become like this? So
mhm.
let's pay attention to them, try to get them help that they need.
And I would also say that if you have a vet,
Yeah.
that's a long process. I think that it's more extreme.
Yeah.
It's more extreme. You will see the symptoms even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You're going to have to do self-care, and have patience and long suffering. And I would say to the caregivers, to get the help that you need also, because you're going to need support yourself.
It's like this, they say hurting people hurt other people.
Mhm.
When you're trying to help somebody, you'll need a little help yourself.
That's right.
Helping,
Yes.
helping
Can
that
you
person.
imagine living with a
Because it's
vet
what you
who
don't know.
has PTSD, and they're shouting out, or you turn around, they're low crawling on the floor, you know what I mean? Or they're having flashbacks, and that's a lot for someone to observe.
For sure.
And especially like if you have children, we all need to have
Yeah.
group therapy
Don't have nothing to do
together.
with no children. It's hard for anybody to see.
Right. Yeah, but
You know what
now,
I mean?
now the
I'm
kids
just
are
saying.
traumatized.
Yeah, that child in you is traumatized. But yeah, for sure, because you have to kind of explain, and you have to, as far as the situation, make sure that you're delicate when it comes to explaining to other family members. The situation. Be delicate in your presentation.
Yeah.
It's serious.
Absolutely.
It's very serious.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Question is, how does the brain respond to trauma and stress? And that's exactly what we're talking about today, the
Great
PTSD,
question.
because the brain and the body both are going to respond. That's where we started out. I was talking about the smoke detector. That alarm is going to go off because there's smoke. The brain is going to send signals that there is stress in the body. And the thing with it is that it doesn't know how to shut off. It's constantly going on, although the stress or the threat is gone.
All right.
Thank you so much.
I think we have a caller. Caller, you're on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Another question. How to support someone who has PTSD who might be having an active episode?
Yes, that's a good question. All right. How do you support someone, a loved one who has PTSD that is in an active episode? First of all, net care is there, 911 is there. You always want to call in, definitely the professionals. It's a little scary these days with calling in the professionals. I know they say that if you call the professionals, you're calling
If you
a
call
gun.
police, you're calling a gun.
Right, But I would definitely say net care or the hospital. Make sure that your loved one is definitely taking the meds. I know sometimes it's hard. They don't like the meds, you know what I mean? But encourage them to take their meds. Make sure that you are not engaging on their level if they're in an active episode. You always want to remain calm. You always want to have a low tone of voice. You always want to have an open stance, not like you're ready to tackle them or anything, you know what I mean? But you just want to have an open stance, so you want to certainly, just try to create a calm environment and try to talk them down. Essentially, what I'm saying is trying to de-escalate the situation. I know for a lot of people, you have the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn stage. And so dealing with those stages, we have to know how a person is calmed down right? So for me, because I freeze up when I'm traumatized or whatever, a nice cup of coffee or tea, a warm blanket, something that is going to be warm and soothing is just going to bring me down.
And I would say, great professional advice and information, but if you're in that situation and it calls for an immediate, immediately for you to call 911, do your very best to explain the situation, explain the person that they're going to, come upon when they come to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Do your very best to explain to them exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when they
It's
get
not
there,
a surprise.
it's not a surprise,
Mm-hmm.
and they pull out a gun when it should be a taser.
Yeah.
But do your best to explain that, as much as possible. And then after that, that's
and the explaining can be to the people that you're calling in, because this person that says in an active episode is not
people you're
there.
calling. Explain explain,
Mm-hmm.
kind of let them know. But even after that, now you have to be informed on how can we all get some help,
Mm-hmm.
in dealing with this person. How can they get the help they need? Do your best to talk them into treatment.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
But to yell and scream and Johnny, sit down, that's not going to go over well at all. I hope that answers your question.
Good question. Thank you, Cole. Wonderful question. That is so true, because you want to know how in an active. She said in an active.
Mm-hmm.
So it's out of your control. You will have to call.
You're going to have to do
911. You're going to have to call someone, but do your best to explain who it is that you're going to approach, who you're coming for. This is what's going on. They whatever.
It's just sad because I have seen
you have to.
that happen where the caller fully explained it and then it still did not go well.
All you can do is all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Then after all of that, then try to get help for everybody. Hey, what can we do? They need to be away in treatment. Away in treatment.
Yeah. They need to be on their meds. All right.
And you can't make them take it.
No, you cannot.
Somebody's gonna have to choose somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a sad thing. You can't make grown folks do anything.
The only thing I could do is probably make you leave.
Yeah. And then
because everybody, the whole house is miserable and we're all tense because we don't know when. So decision has to be made.
That's hard. It's your loved one. Then they've been traumatized. Yeah. They're sick.
Yeah.
They're
sick.
They
need to be in house treatment.
Well, they're only going to keep them for so long.
You can come back.
And then they're coming back home.
You can come back.
And then we have to go through again. You need to be on your meds.
Yeah. Well, somebody's going to have to cut. It's going to be a cutoff.
It's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah. That's why everyone has to do self-care.
That's true. Seriously. And learn about what it is that the person is going through, so you're not on the edge all the time or you're afraid. And then because they can play on what you know about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make you fearful and say certain things and do certain things that they know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And try to use that as a place of manipulation. But hey, if you have to make a decision, for the betterment of the family, for yourself. So when you go to sleep at night, you rest and you're not waking up every 5-6 seconds.
And I'm here to tell you, you will have times like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? You will have times like that. You have to get
make sure it's limited.
As much as possible.
Limited.
All right. So the question
limited time
in the group is,
I'm trying to tell you,
how can the church and its leaders deal with a member with PTSD?
Wonderful question. And I think everything goes back to being informed. So maybe some type of panel platform where it involves the whole church and PTSD, what it is, and you may have a member or two that may be dealing with that, and you could have an outburst, you know what I mean, doing service and things of that nature. So it's about knowing your members.
Yes.
Especially on a one-on-one basis. So you know how to talk to them.
I know that we did a survey before that went around and asked members, did they have anything going on?
Yeah.
And how can we best help you? during that time, and we probably need to update that list. But I think that's a good idea for churches to do, so that they will know their members, because they could have an episode during service, but they know what is soothing to them.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So that's a good idea for us to be aware, what's going on with them.
Is there such thing as a soothing moment when somebody is already in a high state of?
Yes.
I mean, they just like out there and nothing can happen but handcuffs and taser.
If they're on a 10, and when I say soothing, we want to bring them down to at least a 7. That's going to help them. I'm not saying soothing like they're going to put their thumb in their mouth and close their eyes. You know what I mean?
It's just from what I've seen on, shows that they're so out of their mind where soothing at a 7 or 8 ain't coming.
Yeah, and those are
those who need to be medicated.
Yeah. I mean, those are extreme cases, but we're talking about overall PTSD. You know, because a lot of times we may not see them at that level, you know what I mean? But they can still be triggered. You know what I mean? So knowing, having that information on hand, what is it that you usually do when you get into those situations will help us, to be able to help them.
And a wonderful question, because we're learning, and I think we know a little more now, that it's always God and.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean? So, because remember, the help is going to come from somebody. So it's going to be God, and you're going to go see a counselor.
Because say, for instance, someone's having an anxiety attack or panic attack at church. Yes, we're going to be praying. We're going to be getting down praying in the name of Jesus. But then I'm going to go over and be like, hey, look at me.
Follow me. Come with me.
Breathe with me. Breathe with me. Look at me. You know what I mean? Open your eyes. You know what I mean? So it's going to take God and someone else too. But if we don't know that they have anxiety and panic attacks, we don't know what's going on. We don't know if it's the devil or
we're trying to cast out something that they need.
And they having an anxiety attack.
They need to sit down and breathe. We're trying to cast that demon out. You get from here.
Right. You know what I mean? So again,
but that's true.
I feel like our church and other churches would benefit from knowing what medical issues or mental health issues that the members have.
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't make you any different than anyone else in the church.
Not at all, because we all got our things.
We all have something.
We all got our things going on. We just want to know how to help. That we just want to know how to help. All right, there's a question that says, what are the differences between PTSD and acute stress reaction? So acute stress reaction can be trauma based, but acute stress reaction, usually you're stressed out, I believe it's for at least up to 6 months, whereas PTSD, this can be years and years and years. That's why they call it acute, because acute is like in the here and now, like a short time frame. It's not even chronic. Well, it just goes on. Whereas PTSD is more of a chronic episode, right? A chronic time for your adrenals to be fired up, a chronic time for you to have flashbacks and intrusive thoughts and all of that stuff. So that's the vast difference between the two.
Wow. That's good information.
Yeah.
That's great information.
Yeah, PTSD is just, I would put that in the same, probably above the category of grief as far as hard to overcome.
Yeah.
Because the processes are so varied. And so long, you can't just say, grief is just this or PTSD is just this. Right. It's a lot of things that could happen, and then they're, constantly feeling on guard.
Yeah, for sure.
Constantly feeling on guard. Always like looking over your shoulders. You know what I mean? It's just so much.
I believe in the Black community, we have learned that it's okay to get help now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
okay to talk about these things now. I don't think it's as much as stigma as it was 20 years ago. I
Mm-hmm.
think we know that there's help out there now, and if I can get it, I need to go and get it.
That's right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we applaud our people
That's
for
right. That's
understanding,
right.
and especially we've been that people that have gone through the most
Yes.
in the
Yes.
world, and so we know that type of trauma, it is passed down
Mm-hmm.
from
And I'm
generation to
happy
generation. Yeah.
that in my counseling experience,
Yeah.
I have also noticed, that a lot of Black males
Yeah.
are coming in, getting the help that they need.
Gotcha.
We have to get over
Yeah.
ourselves, get over the pride, get over
Yeah.
the ego, and say,
Yeah.
what? I'm sick and tired of being
Mhm.
sick and tired.
Yeah.
I know that I need help, and I
Yeah.
cannot do it on my own.
It's just the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And no one really talks about they have this issue.
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me go get some help? Well, I don't know what that look like. I've never known anyone to
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean? So
Right,
now
right.
that it's becoming more commonplace for people to go and seek counseling. Hey, it's not as bad as you think it is. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It just means that, hey, you have some things that this professional can help you with.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So now it looks different.
And give it a fair
It
chance
looks
too.
different. Yes.
Because again, coming into therapy is not, I don't have a miracle wand under
Right.
my desk for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have any miracle dust.
Yeah, to blow on it. You understand?
I wish I did, because I'd be
That's
blowing
good.
it on
Now, I
myself.
did see a preacher do that the other day. I don't know if he had something. I
Lord,
did
I
see that.
can't.
Yeah, let me get back to it.
Okay.
But I did see that. I won't say what it is, but I did. Mint time. That's what they tell me. You may need a mint. I'm just telling you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I don't, but I'm just saying to give therapy a fair chance, because it can take a while. If you come in with something so dramatic and
Yeah.
traumatic
Yeah.
as PTSD
Yeah.
and grief, it's going to be a while.
Go in willing to learn and
Mm-hmm.
understand what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Run into a lot of people who feel as if, hey, I went to counseling twice.
Yeah,
And
no.
it ain't helping me, and I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what do you mean?
Right,
You
exactly.
went 2 times.
They don't know.
And
And-
I'm not going back because he didn't help me or she didn't help me.
Yeah,
But they don't understand the work that you have to work, that
That's
you have to
right.
do in order to get.
that's
Where you need to
right.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Encourage them.
I
to
hear
keep-
that all the time.
Yeah, encourage them
I do.
to stay with the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. I hear that. all
All
the time.
right. Morel Bryant asks, can PTSD be worse if someone is on drugs?
Wow.
Okay, so
Yeah. Wow.
it depends on if the drugs is prescribed for the PTSD. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say no.
Mhm.
They should get better
Yeah.
if it's prescribed medication
And they're taking it the right way.
and they're taking it the right way. But if you're talking about street drugs,
Yeah.
yeah, they will definitely probably exacerbate it. And people again need to do your own research. That's like everybody feel like marijuana is the cure for everything,
Right.
And what people don't understand is that sometimes marijuana can exacerbate
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
You feel like you're taking it to calm yourself down, and
Yeah.
it can actually exacerbate
For sure.
anxiety. So you have
Yeah.
to do your own homework.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
It is like you already have this situation going on, and you put something else on top of that.
Yeah.
That's why I see her question. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You already had this. You don't need nothing else. You know what I mean? You don't need anything else.
How often do you see people who suffer from PTSD also suffer from depression?
Mm.
They are cousins.
Okay.
They are, I'm telling you, they're probably
Great
more like
question.
twin flames. There
Mhm.
is no way in the world that you
Yeah.
can have PTSD and not be depressed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you have
Most definitely.
oh my goodness. Again, you have so many things going on with PTSD. You startle easy, you're
Mhm.
tense and restless, you can't have sleep, you constantly feel like you are in danger.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
we understand that sometimes with depression, although there are biological components to depression, we know that the thought processes plays a vital role. with depression, right? You know, it starts out with a thought, you have feelings, then you have behaviors, you know. So every thought that you think, you're telling your body to release, you know, these certain chemicals and hormones. So yes, they do go hand in hand, you know. So we definitely want to talk about some of the coping skills for that. We did not even go through all of the symptoms of PTSD. We only named a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 11:55.
Wow.
And I do hear the music also.
Yeah.
So make sure, because they already feel I'll say insecure and unsafe, that we definitely want to make sure that they feel grounded. So I talk about what do we do when they're in an active state. Make sure they're grounded. You can do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. 5 things you see, 4 things you touch. Y'all know that drill. If you don't know, you can hit me up. I can send it to you. And again, we're talking about the mind. So name the facts. The fact is that I am actually safe right now. The trauma happened in the past. Today is today. I'm safe. I'm in my home. I'm in my office. In this moment, all things are well. Calm the body, the deep breathing, the progressive muscle relaxation techniques, movement, stretching, walking, exercise. I already talked about the thought challenging, right? Is there danger now? I'm having a flashback, but then I have to bring myself back into the moment and say, hey, is it happening now? Right? Okay. What evidence do I have to support this fear? Create a coping statement. All right. Y'all know I love coping statements. This feeling will pass. Again, I'm safe in the moment. And emotional regulation journaling. We can talk about this more if you all want to, because there's so much more to it. But if you know someone, or if you have PTSD yourself, make sure you take your meds as prescribed. Make sure you do your grounding techniques. If you don't know what the grounding techniques is, probably because you have not been to a therapist. But if you need them, I'll be more than happy to help you with that.
Well, it's been our great pleasure to be right here on this foundation station. And thank you, Kimberly.
Well, thank you,
for
Marvin,
your professionalism
for being here
today.
It's my reasonable service.
My goodness.
Well, you have been listening to TTL, where you get a smooth blend of therapy and the word. Again, happy birthday to all of the June birthdays, especially my baby boy, William, Big Daddy Bozeman. All right. We love you all, and we'll see you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye.